tiger, or a hybrid endemic, a Muir cross Bengal tiger. They're the largest of the subspecies. So he's just having a look at the tree. He hasn't noticed that there's a raft in the water yet with his food on it. But they have no fear of water. They'll readily go swimming. They do it for a number of reasons. They basically cross territories. Amur tigers have a fantastic range, absolutely huge. It'd be nothing for a male to have a territory of up to 5 meters. So that's the equivalent of sort of Stirlingshire and Perthshire, put 500 square miles. So the equivalent of Stirlingshire and Perthshire put together could be a range for an adult male. The females are slightly smaller and have a range of around about 200 square miles. So they'll need to cross water in order to patrol and maintain their territories. They like to bathe, believe it or not, to keep nice and cool. And they will go into the water to fish. Tigers have quite an abundance of prey. They're anything from fish, small amphibians. They'll feed on rabbit, they'll feed on deer, they'll feed on pigs. So they're exceptionally good swimmers. So Genghis is going to go out on the raft, showing off his swimming skills, and grab that bit of food and take it to the side. Genghis is 18 years of age, so he's quite an old male. He was bred at a time where there wasn't much consideration or responsibility attached to the breeding of tigers, because he's a hybrid. He's a cross between 2 different subspecies. So he's considered quite low ranking. We're not going to breed from Genghis. Instead, he's out here and he's retiring, and we're using him as somewhat of an ambassador to raise awareness to the plight of wild tigers, or tigers in the wild. He's also in this enclosure with Bella, who'll be out in just a moment. She's a 14-year-old female pure Amur tiger. She's a little bit more faster, a little bit more agile, and she's fully aware that food in the enclosure hidden somewhere, so she'll have to use her natural senses in ability to go out and seek her food. Today we've put some of the food up the tree, so you'll see how fast and agile she is in jumping up the tree and finding out her food. So if you just bear with us a couple of seconds, Bella will be coming out. Amur tigers in the wild are suffering a tremendous amount. Believe it or not, it might shock you to realise that there's only about 500 of these guys left remaining in the wild. More tigers exist in zoos in captivity in America than they do in the wild. The total number of tigers in the wild is only about 3,500. Their population has taken a massive dip, somewhere in the region of about 97% within the last 100 years. She goes. At the turn of the century, there was considered to be well over 500,000 tigers in the wild, but a 97% reduction means there's only about 3,500 left. So if you imagine there's about 100 of you up on the viewing platform now watching our tigers, just imagine sort of 3 or 4 of you walking off. That's basically the massive crash that's happened to the tiger population. Why? Well, it's purely and simply down to human conflict with tigers. Humans are quite a nasty, greedy animal, not very good at protecting and looking after the world's resources. So what we're doing is we're destroying the habitats in which the tigers live. They need a massive territory in order to ensure there is abundance of prey. Their range or their territories are really sort of dictated by the amount of prey within them. So it's nothing, like I say, for a tiger to have a range of up to about 500 square miles. So when humans are involved, we're destroying habitats. We're basically cutting down the forests for things like palm oil plantations and building in roads and deforestation for logging. So it's very important that when we're, as consumers here in the Western world, although we're not going out there physically destroying habitats ourselves, we're looking at what we're buying and we're looking at where we're sourcing our wood and our paper, making sure it's sustainably harvested and we're not buying exotic hardwoods, which is quite important. Coupled with that, the poaching for tigers is absolutely horrendous because there is a massive price or bounty placed on the heads. As rare as the tigers get, or as they become more rare or more the price for their body parts will only go up. Southeast Asia and China are massive consumers in traditional Chinese medicine, and they will pay up to £300 per kilo of tiger bone. So if a poacher who is pretty destitute turns to the forests in order to make ends meet or make a living, they get around 5 years.